Hello, hello. How's everybody doing today? Well, this should be a very enlightening video. I hope so, you guys. I'm so tired of arguing with black people online, on the phone, in barbershops, all over the place, supermarkets. They get really offended if you indicate that you're not going to vote for Kamala Harris or vote blue no matter who. I don't think too many of them are too concerned about the down ballot. Most of them don't argue about that, but most of us black people are getting into very serious arguments, unfriending people on Facebook. I mean, really, people you've been to high school with, who was cool with you in high school, cool with you over the years at the reunions, and all of a sudden they tell you they're not voting for Kamala Harris. Oh, you ain't voting for her because you think she ain't black. No, it has nothing to do with us not thinking she's black. Me, for sure. I believe that Kamala Harris can identify as a black woman if she chooses to, and has identified as a black woman in the past. But I don't believe that that's what's really in her heart, and that's the problem that I'm having. And for us to have some type of voter education is, if it's got to be me, then this is where it's going to start right here. Black popcorn voter education 101. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments. If you disagree with anything I say, leave it in the comments. We're going to get this straightened out and reach as many people as we can. Like, comment, share. Please share this video to anyone who's black who argues with you over it, no matter which side they take. But this video ain't so much about who's right or wrong, because to a great degree, there's enough blame to go around. But when you've been doing something wrong your whole life, and especially if it's something that your parents taught you, shit, you get offended when people start telling you that it's not correct, or that it's not right, or where did you hear that from? Oh, no, no, my mama taught me that. Hey, our parents were about a generation removed from slavery. They weren't really sharp on voting because they weren't able to vote. My mom was, what was my mom, in her 30s when she was able to vote for the first time in 1964, and it's like, wow. We don't really get it, and I don't want to argue with people because they think I'm saying throw your vote away or vote for Trump. I'm not saying either one of those things. I am totally okay with voting for the Democrats. I don't like them any more than I like the Republicans, or any, or even the independents. The Constitution that most black people are fighting so hard for doesn't even include them. We weren't even being thought of. You can, as much as you're willing to accept the amendments and feel that they give us peace of mind and equity and fairness and equality. If you feel that, there's nothing I can do about it. I don't feel that way. I don't feel this country was built with us in mind, except as our role as slaves. And if you can accept that and understand that the Democrats and the Republicans are both racist, it in their core, there may be some good fellas on this side and some good fellas on this side who have evolved, or learned, or changed, or at least understand and can make an educated action when it comes to dealing with black people. I don't know why, out of all the other minority groups in the country, we tend to be that one that's just always on the cusp of of an argument and a fight, and it's always started over here on the Republican or the Democratic side, and then picked up by us and debated and fist fought over and argued. I mean, I am really feeling horrible that I offend people by saying things like, "Hey, I'm totally not supporting Kamala Harris, but if she was to offer us a tangible package." The only thing to me that really makes sense for us, because they whine and cry about cash. Oh no, this we're broke. We don't have no money. We can't pay you guys. Where we're gonna get money from? And then we go, yeah, they're right, they're broke. And then a war breaks out and they send a few billion over there, and then another war, a few billion over here. Then we got, who is it? The illegal immigrants. Oh, open it up, let them in. Then we got to pay for that, billions of dollars. So, but before any of this stuff happened, they told us they were broke. In good faith, they told us they were broke, and we believed them. We believed them so much we didn't kick, we didn't cry. We don't call our Congressional Black Caucus and threaten to fire them. And we're going to get back on them too. I'm going to be here a while on this, you guys, because I'm trying to come to a resolution. And the resolution that I'm trying to come to is that we just need to learn how to care about each other a little more. If somebody feels that Kamala Harris and the Democratic Party isn't for them, and they're going to go vote for Trump, don't call them stupid. Don't put them down. Don't compare their level of intelligence with yours just because your parents brainwashed you probably better than their parents brainwashed them. Or maybe your parents didn't brainwash you at all. Maybe you were brainwashed by your coworkers, or maybe you were brainwashed by the people who you hang around currently. And it's hard for you to change your way of thinking and still be in those break rooms and be in those circles where you're the minority and people are, in the workplace. It ain't easy to especially if you work with Democrats. They feel like they own us still. They just look at you and smile sometimes. What the fuck is you looking at? And they, oh, I just smiling. Well, quit smiling at me like that. God damn it. I don't like that kind of shit. I like people to just treat me normal and don't be sitting there marveling and you don't know what the fuck is going on in their head and shit. Oh, just 160 years out of slavery and look at them. They get dressed all by themselves. I don't know what the hell go through their head, but it ain't the kind of thing that I invite, and it ain't the kind of thing that I'm proud of. And no one should be proud of being that. I was arguing with a gentleman today, and I feel bad about even having to describe it as that way, but I know it was some tension there over the Republicans and the Democrats. If two black men can't come to a agreement or a resolution when it comes to talking about them two devil parties, it's a damn shame. Oh, you Trump. Oh, you MAGA. MAGA? I'm going to tell you right now, and every black person should be clear on this. America has never been great. I mean, I'm not talking about the continent because there was a time when white people weren't here. So yeah, it was great at one time. But we go back to that. What is Trump saying? He gonna give all white people tickets out of here? Because if they stay here, how are we gonna make America great again? How are we gonna make America great when you got a group of people who were brought here as slaves, released from slavery, which is fine. It just let them go. But you give them a deal. You tell them they're about to get something that's going to make their lives make sense. Land and a mule. Don't sound like much these days, but boy, had that happened, it would have been a whole different country today. I'll tell you that. Had we been left alone with our 40 acres and a mule, and that's the problem. We can't be left alone. Jazz music, rap music, our acting, our arts, our sports. There's nothing we can do with free and clear of that hand and that's helping us hold back. That keeps us in turmoil. That keeps us fighting and arguing with each other. Do you really think that a black man from Compton really wants to vote for Donald Trump? No. But I must say this as well. Do you think a black man from Compton want to vote for Biden? I understood back in the 90s what Biden and those guys were doing. I used to go to work and listen to my talk radio all day, conservative talk radio till noon. And then from noon to the time I go home, I go with the liberal talk. Because I like to hear both, because sometimes they both be telling the truth. They really do. But they both lie a lot too. And if you um, it God dog it. I see why some people and I never understood why some people go adults when I was younger would go in bars and go, oh, I don't talk religion or politics. I'd be like, why? Shit. I mean, that's one of the best things in the world you can talk about because people put so much of their life into religion and so much of their life into politics. And usually the people who are the most heavily invested are the people who are being tricked and kind of led along and not told the whole story. If any of you Democrats or Republicans could hear the heads of your party talk behind closed doors, we all know we would probably not be supporting them people or not even be want to be on the same planet with them. If you really realized what they can't tell you what their real plans are, you wouldn't vote for them. They can't just say, hey, you know what? We're going to just keep pouring our tax dollars into Ukraine. Well, that's billions and billions of dollars. Yeah, but their democracy and their freedom and their right to choose, how they govern that country is their right. And as the United States, we're going to go over there and we're going to give them whatever they need and as much of it and get them to a place that they want to be and until Putin gives up. But you're not willing to pour that kind of money into the black community so that the crime rates go away. You know what I'm saying? For free, take all the white police out of the black communities and the Hispanic communities. That'd be the only time I speak on that community because they seem to have very good representation. But us, we need somebody to get it. We need somebody to understand. There needs to be a dialogue. They got APAC. We need Black Pack. We need lobbyists. We don't need politicians. All our politicians need to go. If you're a black politician, mayor, all of them, because if you're a black mayor and you're in a community and you are able to pour resources into your town and you are able to get jobs there and make sure that you got food banks for the black people who aren't doing too well, and that your black community, when people come around, they go, "Whoa, this makes sense. This seems like," but you're just one mayor, and that's just one community. We got black people scattered all over this country, and it's no fault of their own that you might get in a really racist area and not get anything. And then another black person might be in an area that's more predominantly black and have access to more resources and things. No, the black issue needs to be dealt with unilaterally all over the place at the same time simultaneously because we need relief, all of us, not just depending on where you chose to pitch your tent. Your uh, reward should be given to you regardless. I'm sorry about that, folks. I just hate a little heartburn. But it really bothers me because the people you love the most, your dearest friends, your relatives, are the ones who speak the harshest if you don't believe their religion or if you don't believe the politics that they follow for whatever reason. I don't care if anybody agree with me or not, but I know plain common sense, and it must be some good to it because everyone else is doing it. Everyone else is doing it. And if for those of you who aren't aware, the Asians have a congressional caucus, the Hispanics have a congressional caucus, and look at their mission statement, and look at the Black caucus mission statement. The black, we're the people who have the least, and where our doors are just open for all poor people to help all underserved. All, and some of you are probably sitting there just nodding for you because it's been beaten into your head as slaves to hold the door so other people can walk through it while you stand there and hold it. And that's what we've been doing. Let's let go of that door and walk before it closes, walk through it. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. We got to lose the mentality that we're not good enough for that stuff because we are. We deserve it like everyone else deserves it. But you guys, we got to stop fighting each other. We got to accept the facts. Hell, the party you guys have been voting for 60 years might be the party that's responsible for the death of Martin Luther King or the United States government in whole or in part. It's like this guy was actually being followed and surveilled. And why? What was he doing? Was he had a nonviolent, peaceful movement going? What is there to what makes you, because he's black, he needs to be looked at. Because he has power to unify black people, he needs to be looked at. We cannot have that, because look how far we will move. Look how far we would go if we just unify and quit arguing over MAGA. MAGA. Honestly, like someone told me I'm MAGA because I'm anti Kamala, and I'm anti Kamala because she lies all the time. I'm anti Kamala because she isn't going to be running this country. I'm anti Kamala because she's not a likable person. She lies too much. Her and Joe Biden ran this country for the last 4 years, basically. We're getting there. If they ran this country for the last 4 years, why is she campaigning as if she's on the outside looking in? Donald Trump is still pulling all the strings. She's even saying he messed up our border policy. He could not mess up your border policy. If you have an agenda and this guy is a civilian, a former president, you better find a way to get your agenda run, because he is not even an elected official currently at the time you're talking about him so badly. You guys should better get your agenda through. And if you're not, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know why black people have voted Democrat for 60 years, except for the fact that the people we love and trust the most have told us to. And we've never been educated. We've been given, so to speak, a very valuable item and never told how to cash it in. We just been told how to give it to someone else and they cash it in. But we've never been told how to leverage it so that it actually benefits us. And when someone tells you that they don't want to vote for Kamala because they feel like they're giving their vote away or nothing's going to change, and you're stuck on the Project 2025 and the world's going to end and Trump's going to be a dictator. I mean, it's just so many things that all sound like fear tactics. And then if Trump wins, none of that's going to happen, and everybody's going to walk on like they never said it before until the next election, and then it'll be another myth going around that's supposed to scare us into voting Democrat. I'm going to tell you, I always say it's one thing, and that's a tangible, like my dream, which is tax exemption for blacks. But let's say, for instance, we get two things. We need a whole bunch of things. But if we just get tax exemption and they start off, drop us a percent off what everybody else is paying, maybe two, and work at it. No matter what administration's in there or what administration wants our vote, that's the administration we vote for. And that's the administration that guarantees us that exemption, that tax exemption percentage. And until we get it to where we need it to be. But you guys, we got to do it. We got to start talking differently to even the white politicians that we like, even the party that we feel is our home and that we're a part of. And you take the Democratic Party and the Baptist Church and you can tie them in a knot. And we have to separate from that. We have to think differently. And you can yeah, please don't get me wrong. You can worship wherever you want to worship. I'm not trying to knock anybody's religions. I'm just saying, don't let them take your religion and just do what they want with it. When these pastors, and you guys are the congregation, you guys let your pastors know. Why don't you guys quit embarrassing us and letting these people come in here and dance a little jig and our choir sing and make us look like a bunch of idiots, because that's what it makes us look like. Kamala Harris doesn't go visit Baptist churches and fried chicken joints when it's not election season. So it's so disingenuous. And then we go for it and we allow her to do it just because we're so happy that she came to see us. But she failed to tell us anything good, like what she's going to give us. She's just saying, you guys get your votes together and give them to me. And then I'm going to go take care of everything. You don't have to worry about nothing. Just get them votes. No, Kamala, no. Hell no. We want to give you our votes and know what you're going to go do with them, and not get on interviews and embarrass us and say things like, oh no, I'm not going to do something that just helps black people. That's the same kind of stuff Obama was talking. What is wrong with y'all? Why do you want to be associated with black people just to hold them down and get do you get some kind of special medal or some kind of special goal for having that ability to walk on the fence and black people think you're helping them and really you're like wink wink look we got them, don't worry, the boats are in the bag. I mean, why would you do that to us? Why would you join a black sorority and have sorority sisters? And I hope you still have close relationships with some of them. And I hope some of them are real black people will call you and be like, hey, come, Mamala or Obamala, whatever they call you. Hey, girl, you need to get the You at them little rallies with homegirl shake. Don't be doing that. That shit is disrespectful. We college graduates. And then Kamala wouldn't do it maybe. But ain't nobody telling her that. They talking about anything you can do to get the vote out. You just get them out. Even if they ignorant, just get them out. Have a concert for them and tell them to vote for you. And that's no, we don't want votes like that. We don't care about them kind of people. We want people to vote with an informed mind to understand why they're voting the way they're voting, so they can understand that you don't just vote and then go home for 4 years until they need you again. You vote and then you conduct yourself accordingly, so that the policies and the objections that you have are seen through. You conduct yourself accordingly. If it's stores in your community that don't need to be shopped at, we need to knock it off. Quit shopping at them. We can do it. We did it before. We did it before. Why are we? Why do we have to walk in these stores and people treat us bad, following you around? Just being in your community, and you know that person who has that store open, that person who get a funny look, or the person who's friendly as hell. But that money is, when you give it to them, it leaves your community. You guys understand that? Is that a made up? Is that made up too? Because we live, most black people who, I don't know about now because we're all over the place, but you guys know how we grew up. A lot of us grew up in inner cities. A lot of us grew up with black politicians, city councilmen, mayors, even some governors in some of these bigger states. But what has it gotten us? Raggedy ass, homeless, torn up downtown areas. It look ridiculous. Rows and rows and rows of motorhomes that don't even run. Somebody done got them towed, parked on the side of the road, and turned them into their temporary homes because they got nowhere else to go. And this is just road. You go in a Republican district in a city, and I don't know what rural Republican areas look like. A few of them, and I was kind of impressed with them too. But there are some areas that are so pristine and so clear because those politicians ain't going to tolerate you messing it up. They're not going to let you pull up with a busload of illegal people and just open the gate and let them out. And the mayor going to walk over and just give them a hotel. No, you're going to turn them around, put them back on that bus. And they don't even care where they go, but they ain't going to go there. That's what we need to do. We need to protect our families and our communities. We need to stop arguing with each other when we know what we're saying ain't right. When you know in the back of your head what the real truth is, you just don't think this guy need to know because that's just too much TMI. TMI, he don't need to know that. He just need to vote and shut up because he think he know it. No, he don't think he know everything. But we all know what's right. Nobody's gonna give us anything. They don't even give it to you when you ask for it. So you know they ain't gonna, out the goodness of their heart, one day say, "Hey, you know what? Gosh, dog it, we've had a crisis in this country every year of its existence, and it's always required a lot of our attention and resources. But there's one crisis that's been ongoing, and that is the plight of the black man. That's right. And what do? Nothing. Make us promises and rescind them. Shit, who knows? Maybe if Lincoln hadn't died, his shit still would have got rescinded. But it was probably inevitable that he died. There's no way they was gonna let that happen. I mean, they can just sit down and just kind of, do a ballpark kind of how is this gonna turn out thing and figure like hell no. They're gonna prosper. They're gonna do too well. And even without the 40 acres and a mule, had that just been the only issue, and they'd let us go and leave us alone, hands off, we would still be doing so well. But they keep knocking us down and restricting us and resisting us and making us argue with ourselves. That's brainwashing, folks. I know I've been brainwashed. I know most of us are dealing with all kind of traumatic issues just from slavery and don't even get it. You don't. It's almost embarrassing for somebody to tell you that you get. I ain't nothing wrong with me. I don't have no man. Well, unfortunately, we probably all do, and maybe some of us don't. I'm not. It's not a put down to me. It's reality. But we need to quit arguing with each other. We need to figure this thing out and get some voting classes going. Get with people who you know more than, and don't lie to them. Tell them the truth. And if you tell them the truth and have an open and honest conversation with them, most people won't agree with you if you're just telling them to vote for Kamala. First, explain to them how voting goes. Voting is a right, and it's something that you can do or not do. It's your choice. And if you choose to do it, it's because someone is talking the talk. And the talk is something that's going to benefit you, your family, your community. And if they're not talking that talk, there's no reason to give them your vote. And since Kamala has announced that she's running for president, she hasn't given us any platform. Go to her website. I ain't making it up. She hasn't updated her website. Check that website. Send her a message if you care. I don't. All I know is if she ain't negotiating, I ain't voting. And if Trump ain't negotiating, I ain't voting. And if one of them have the better offer, they both want to really do the right thing, like they do APAC and make bids and make negotiations and work that out to see who's going to be the one to garner the support of that particular group, BNS. If they ain't willing to have that kind of a situation for us, then we need to force it because they're not going to give us anything. We need to make it happen. Why is it okay for APAC to sit in on our Congress while they're in session, while they're legislating laws for our country? Why is a foreign entity in that room? And we are the citizens of this country and we aren't in that room. Do your reading, learn as much as you can, and share it. Don't just learn it and go try to have debates with people and make them look stupid. Everybody may not be as intelligent as you. Everybody may not be as manipulative as you. And everybody ain't going to tell them the side of the story they want them to know. Tell them the whole story. Put your arm around people. Bring them in. There's you guys talking about it's going to be a race where we get your black ass closer to some other black people, and maybe at least you'll have somebody's bed to go hide under. It's just scary. Why are you so afraid of the white supremacists? Have they ever came and just beat the shit out of you other than police? Because they do that anyway. We've had more violence done to us since we arrived here, and you guys are scared of what? Violence. It's very disappointing. I am going to make this an ongoing series. I have to. I'm being misinterpreted, trying to educate people and inform people on certain things that they just may not know about, or maybe they do. It sure makes nice conversation and dialogue, but they want to argue and fuss and fight just when you strike up a conversation about the 2024 presidential. Like, oh, you gonna vote for Trump? Huh? Oh, you one of them Trumpsters? You a MAGA? How can any black person in their right mind even call somebody MAGA? I don't even know what that stuff is talking. This dude, Trump, he came up with a little slogan. Is he racist? Is he not racist? Probably so. It don't bother me. The country is run by racists. Have you guys been near the Senate lately? Do you know why nothing never goes anywhere? The Senate is that firewall. Nothing gets by them. They, you guys have no idea. And you're sitting here not understanding that your Democrats that you love so much, the ones that get on TV and have all these little smart things to say about them, they're their friends. They are colleagues. They do business. They only lock down on things they want to tell you about. But the other things, and when they have a little battle, it's usually because there's a whole bunch of underlying things they want to sneak through. But they got to put that big battle out there to get the little stuff through that ain't too important for you to have to know. Shh, just don't worry about it. We got you. We'll take care of you. Just vote and shut up. Go, oh gosh, are they? Oh no, those people, they can't be out there again. We got it. We're taking care of the country. It's still a democracy. And black people, don't worry. Just give us your vote. Nobody else is doing it. Nobody else. And they like us the least. So if you know they like you the least and you're trusting them with your vote with no conditions, come on, guys. I gotta go and brainstorm. I'm trying to figure out a way to crack people's heads open. pour that information in and then suture it back up or something, because I don't want to kill anyone. I just want them to, their head to just get a little bigger in this area. Because we got to do better, guys. We got to quit getting mad at other black people because they don't agree with you or thinking you're smarter than them. Oh, hey, you don't know what he's talking about. This dude talking about. I'm telling you, it ain't nothing to be. It is what it is. But if you can tell me other than like without it telling me, because no one's told me why I should vote for Kamala Harris or why I should vote blue no matter who, except fearful things like Project 2025 that they ain't read, or Kamala Harris is the best, she's sharp and she's the prosecutor. That's another one, guys. She's a prosecutor. We're black. We don't root for prosecutors. Prosecutors are the enemy. They're on the other side of the table. They don't mean us no good. And then you guys want to act like we got one who's fighting for us. We don't. We got one who locked us up. And now she's acting like she's our hero and we're supposed to be standing behind her going, yeah, Kamala, you go get him. Not me. Don't trust her. Because I think it was about a day ago, last news cycle, Kamala was at one of her speeches, on her stump speeches or rallies, and she's out there bragging about if Israel doesn't, be careful with the killings over there in Hamas, she like kind of shut down aid or insinuated something that like weapon shipments could stop. Whoever her, they call it her security advisor or whatever the hell they call that person, shut it down, flipped it around. She before that speech was over, she apologized, walked it back, and they made it clearer so everybody in that crowd understood. Now that's just a rally. She's supposed to get out there like she do the black people, right, and just say things make you feel good, like, oh yeah, say it again. She just singing like Ron Isley to us, and we supposed to just be laying there. Oh yeah, just I'm in love with you, just singing and dancing, and it's so uninspiring, you guys. And I also think about back how excited I was in 2008. Man, back in 2008, I was going back and forth to Vegas because California was sold out. So we were pushing hard for Obama. That was obviously a swing state. And we were pushing hard for Obama in 2008. So we're knocking on doors, these big old nice houses in Henderson and up and down. And I'm like, whoa, gates opening like this. I'm like, shoot, who lives here? A little old black man come out. He got a robe on and silk pajamas. It's like, hey, sir, how you doing? He's like, hey, how you doing there? I said, man, I hate to disturb you, but do you know anything about Barack Obama? And he was like, well, I've been hearing about him. They talking about him. And I said, man, I think he's going to do it. And he was like, really? I said, yeah. He said, well, I'm supporting Hillary. And I said, no. Barack, I talked him up. We had talking points and all that stuff. And he was like, looking at the paperwork and the literature I given him. And he was like, thanks, young brother. I'm gonna go in here and read over this. I really appreciate that. And I had a lot of people who were willing to, because I've done door knocking for years, and I've never had a campaign where people were so receptive, where people actually opened the door and listened to you. And I say that to say, we went out there and put a lot of time in working the Obama campaign, and then when he got in office, and I heard him say that the country doesn't have the stomach for reparations. It just it's a non-starter. I was like, whoa. But the LGBT, nothing against LGBT plus people, but I'm just saying, as a black person, you're willing to go, and if it could have been Asians, it could have been Mexicans, it could have been a whole lot of other stuff, but it was the LGBT, which I would think in my mind would not be as palatable for the American public as being black is. But Obama said that they weren't ready for us for reparations, and when he said that, it made me start thinking different. First off, 2012, when he ran for re-election, I did not door knock. I didn't campaign. I didn't even support it. I was at the time a e-board member at a local union in Los Angeles, and I was openly uh, letting them know, you guys need to quit picking our candidate for us, and blah blah. And they was like, no, 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 Barack, and he got these plans, and I got involved with the Employee Free Choice Act at the time, and I was kind of pushing that through. And Obama kept said, I think I heard him mention it once or twice, if Congress votes, this is when I was out there hustling, trying hard to get that Employee Free Choice Act, so to make it easy for everyone to join a union. But what I didn't realize is it just made it easy for a whole bunch of car wash workers and service workers and recently arriving immigrants into the country to unionize, which is not a bad thing at all. But what I'm saying is there's no focus on the plight of black people. There's no focus on our progress, no focus on helping us out. And I'm in there brainstorming, getting up at 3 in the morning and wearing myself out in all these actions and in all these e-board meetings and all this conversation about Hispanics, and for the most part, the ones who are recently arriving. Living down at the local. Because they got nowhere to go, and getting cell phones paid for. And I was like, wow, that's really. I mean, it's a wonderful thing. And I was almost beginning to feel kind of like I was adopting kind of socialist type ways. And then I started to realize how harmful that would be to us as black people, because that's what the Democrats are more comfortable with for us. For us to just identify as poor people, to just be lumped together so that we don't stick out in any way. And when there's resources, the poorest of the poor have first dibs at them, which is usually not us. It's someone who just arrived. And we're always going to hover toward the bottom, but never to the point of where I guess they feel we needed any help. I feel we've needed help every year we've been here, but that's what I'm saying. You can't let an oppressor run your police departments. You can't let an oppressor run your schools. You can't let an oppressor run your hospitals, and every one of them get up there and tell you to your face the statistics on how black people die earlier, the statistics on how we're unemployed the most, the statistics on how we're beaten by the police. They'll tell you out of their own mouth how much they beat us and how often they beat us and how severely they beat us. And what do? Keep on letting them run the police department, the school district, and the hospitals. The three places we do the worst. But I'm just telling you guys, voter education is mandatory. Whether you take it or not, it's still mandatory. Start listening to other people's point of view. Stop disagreeing so much. Just take it in, research some things, because if you already know you're right and nothing no one else can tell you is wrong, then you're wrong right there. Okay, let's at least open it up just a little bit, just to explore what else is out there, and what we all can do to unify and get closer together. And maybe that might even be my opinion, getting the black vote to go 100%, not 95, not 98. Of the registered voters who vote, I would love to see 100% of that vote go to Cornel West. Oh, but he can't win. No, he can't, and we don't want him to. We just want them to see 33 million votes go in here. He ain't gonna win with it, but they'll do anything to get those votes away from that black man next time. They will quit playing with us. He can be an ambassador. He can be a representative. He can be a lot of things to us of good. And all we got to do is do a show of force and let them know, because they already know. But the Democrats are willing to continue to lose, I guess, because Kamala over here, sweet talking, is trying to pull that Obama stuff again. That can't work again, you guys. Anybody still stuck up? Where's Obama? Back in 2008, when I was out there, they were selling Barack Obama memorabilia, and I bought a little Obama figurine like doll, and I was like, "Oh, this is collectible." I'm thinking, man, this is gonna be worth something one day. I was looking for it. I said, man, let me get this in here and let these people say, look, the arms move. It makes a little, you can bend the elbow. Can you believe that? I was like, oh, yeah, man, Obama, first black president, this is going to be worth something. I was really excited to get it. And I'm not so excited. I let my little dog play with it because it ain't that serious. What's real serious is our lives. And if this man was willing to get up there and use our struggles in eloquent speeches, and kind of use some of our past leaders to kind of springboard off of, and how you standing on their shoulder. How are you standing on their shoulders and you ain't doing anything for us? You cannot stand on Martin Luther King's shoulders and not do anything for us. And Obama and Martin Luther King would not have gotten along very well, because Obama was put in a position by us to do something for us, and he did nothing. And because he did, the Democratic Party is ready to do it again with Kamala. They don't care. They just want our vote, and then get out of the way. Just give us that vote and get out of the way. But with that, guys, I'm going to get this one moving. We will catch you on the next episode of Black Popcorn. Thanks for stopping by. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. See you on the next one. I'm going to edit the shit out of this one.